The Content Center contains a lot of bolts, fasteners such as rivets, axles, and several other pre-made modeled components that are very useful. And to do this in assembly mode, go to Place, drop down to Place from Content Center. You can see all the different categories here. So let's start by placing a bolt, a common fastener. I'll place a hex head, and let's do a common just inch hex head inch bolt. And I don't want the heavy one. Let's just do a normal hex bolt inch like you'd find at the hardware store. Place where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it through this hole in this little piece, and I'll make it a 1/4 diameter, half an inch, and a thread type, and OK. And I'll just place one. To assemble it, I'll choose the assembly feature here and place it just like this. So no need to model a part that already exists. Content Center oftentimes has it. So let's place a bolt on the back of this. So again, go to the Content Center. This time I'll select the bolt category, or the nut category, excuse me. Hex head nut, and I'll look for a common inch bolt type. So hex nut inch, OK, and place it. And like before, I'll choose the same 1/4 inch thread description and UNC. I'll place it where I'm going to assemble it, and I only need one. So assemble, and I'll put it right there, and there it is. Quick way to add some fasteners that already exist. This hinge assembly is a good example of bottom-up modeling. That is to say, each part was created individually, brought into an assembly, and then constrained into its position. Another type of modeling is called top-down. Here we place or create new components that we haven't made yet, new parts. These parts are just like any other parts and require their own name and have an IPT file extension. Here I'll call it a puzzle part. New parts can be placed and dimensioned in place using the existing geometry of other parts. In this case, trying to draw a piece to fit into this hole separately would be extremely difficult. However, I can create a new sketch of this part using a plane from the other part. I can even project the edges of that part, which allows me to offset and create a new piece of geometry very quickly, referencing the geometry of the other part. Clicking on Return in the ribbon will take me from part mode back to assembly mode. I can notice in the browser that this new puzzle part that I just created has an adaptive symbol next to it. This means that its geometry is dependent upon the base part and the pieces of its geometry that I used in its creation. To demonstrate this, I will enter the base part, and I'm going to alter the extrusion here. I'm going to finish sketch, and you'll notice that, and I'll change my view, that the puzzle part now doesn't fit, but when I return to the assembly mode, because of its adaptive nature, it automatically fits or alters.